G'day there, Ray Corcoran here. In this week's video, I'm going to be going over 5 of my biggest money fails. I've stuffed up a bajillion things in the past, but in this week's video, I'm going to go over 5 big ones, just in terms of stupid things I've done with money or, mistakes that I've made, and hopefully you can not make the same mistakes. And of course, if you like videos like this, please give it a like and please consider subscribing. We do weekly videos on making money, saving money, and investing money. So the first one is buying courses and training and not implementing it. When I was younger, in my quest to increase my income, I was looking to increase my skills. And part of that was, starting off with stuff online for free. Then I kind of graduated to books, then, courses when I could afford them. So $1,000, $2,000, that sort of stuff. And then eventually moving into stuff like mastermind groups where there's groups of business owners and you might pay anywhere from $15,000 to $20,000, $25,000 and up. Now, I didn't start with that, but over time, as your skills increase, I wanted to keep investing more and keep up leveling. I will say it was very, very transformative and very, very positive. However, it was probably nowhere near as transformative as it could have been had I implemented everything or implemented more in those training courses and mastermind groups. What would happen is when I did implement what I learned, it would be great. I would get better results for my clients. I would grow my business. I would get more referrals. But there's lots of times where I just was lazy and I was doing too much of consumption and not enough of creation. And I've done a post on this on my Instagram before, and I talk about how, you can learn and learn and learn and learn, and you can watch videos like this and keep doing that over and over. But if you don't implement, nothing will change. And for me, I wasted money on not all, but some of these courses and trainings because I would learn and learn and learn, and it would be really, really cool and interesting to learn about it. But I didn't do anything with the information. My recommendation would be if you are investing in yourself, which is a fantastic idea, just make sure that you're implementing just as hard because it's quite easy. I'm sure you've got plenty of books at home where you've only half read them. I've got a bookshelf over there that has lots of books that I've read half or quarter or the whole thing, but lots of them are half read, and I kind of got the general gist of the book. But realistically, if you're going to be investing money, you need to make sure that you're getting a return on that, and you won't get a return unless you implement. So the second one is generally being impatient. So Warren Buffett actually once said that the stock market is a device for transferring money from the impatient to the patient. And it actually, in a weird way, reminds me of previous cars that I've owned. And anytime I've ever scratched the car or the bumper or the wheel or whatever, 100% of the time is because I've been impatient. And I was just like, oh, I'll just keep turning, hopefully it doesn't scrape. Then it scrapes. And it's a kind of interesting analogy for investing because eventually you just get to a point where you may be impatient or you want something to happen and maybe the investment's going sideways or it's going down or maybe it's going up but not very fast or not as fast as you expected. And what can happen is a lot of people get really, really impatient, and if you're a kind of personality like me, I like to kind of make something happen, and sometimes I get a little bit impatient because I want the result as soon as possible. And the problem with that is you end up doing stupid things. Like, for me, I would buy an investment and then it would go nowhere, or I felt like it was kind of just treading water. I would get impatient, then sell. Then usually what happens is it goes on a massive run. And this has happened a couple of times. And, a lot of the time I've just been super impatient and not willing to invest and, stick with it for the long term. And I've ended up having to sell stuff for a loss, or sell stuff for the same amount that I bought it for, and then miss out on the returns that ended up coming had I been more patient. So if you ever catch yourself being a little bit antsy and you've kind of put some money in and you're waiting for stuff to happen, keep in mind that usually you will make a return for most investments if you have a longer time horizon. But if you're trying to get in and out of the market and time the market, there's a lot more risk and a lot higher chance that you will either not make money or you will lose money. Number 3, when it comes to money-related fails, is shiny object syndrome. So a lot of the times when you're trying to build your wealth, you will try and maybe you might be trying to build a business or trying to get a promotion, or you'll have some sort of main goal. But then as time goes on, you'll inevitably have stuff that pops up and things that barriers to you getting to that goal. And sometimes it can feel easier to, instead of getting the original goal that you wanted, you can try a new goal or start a new thing. And this is really, really dangerous, and it's kind of very counterproductive to you getting to financial goals or any goal really, because you get to the point where, oh, this is getting too hard, let's try something else. And it's like picking up a new sport. You know, if you start playing a new sport, you get a lot of progress really quickly initially, and then it will start to taper off, and then you realize it's kind of a 10-year process to get world class at something. And it's the same for any financial goals that you have, whether you're trying to get to $100,000 or you're trying to get to $1 million or trying to get a promotion, whatever the goal is. One of the things that I've found that, you know, a mistake that I've made is I kind of keep going from thing to thing to thing to thing. And now, more recently in the last few years, I really focus on my business, and that's it. And even this is only like a very, very small portion. This YouTube channel is only a very small portion of my time on the weekends, but I've kept the main thing the main thing. And I've made a lot more money because I've done that and because I've stuck with that versus me trying 50 other things. You end up having like 10 side hustles that all make $5 a month, and it's really complex and it's very, very exhausting. So that's definitely something that I was doing very stupid for many, many years until I realized. It's the same thing when I see stuff like NFTs or some of the crypto stuff. I'm not anti that stuff. I'm relatively interested in it. And for some people, it could be a great idea, but for a lot of people, it's just a distraction. And sometimes the least exciting, most boring path is the way to go, and not the path of least resistance. When you've got this brand new shiny thing that could be exciting, could be big returns, you know, sometimes I've found that just sticking to that boring path and keep adding to it will make you far, far richer instead. Number 4 is half committing to saving money. So this is something that kind of took me a while to figure out, but early on, I kind of like half saved, and I talked about this on the channel before. The problem with half-assing it is it usually gets smaller results. And because you get smaller results, you feel like you have less momentum, and you're actually, I think, more likely to give up because you're half-assing it. When you fully, you know, whole-ass it, and fully commit to something, you'll generally get faster results. And because you're getting faster results, that kind of creates a really, really positive feedback loop where you're like, awesome, I'm making results, let's keep going, let's keep going, let's keep going. I was kind of like trying to save a little bit here, trying to live a little. And it's something that a lot of people do is they try to, you know, they might have a limited income, and, you know, they want to have some savings, but they also want to enjoy life. For me, honestly, I kind of believe in, like, you know, almost not enjoying life. I know a lot of people are going to disagree with this, but I kind of feel like I'd rather have a really, really short period where I'm super strict and get a lot of progress and then ease off later and enjoy life rather than do a little bit of saving, a little bit of working, and then do that for a bajillion years. So it might be a bit different to some of the other channels out there and gurus out there, but that's, you know, that's how I think. And also, if you think about it, even just from a mathematical approach, if you look at a compound interest calculator, the sooner you get to some sort of momentum, the much bigger the numbers are later. So it's a much better financial decision for you to go hard early and let time do the rest than you do a little bit and then eventually, you know, it'll probably work out fine eventually. But the more that you can do early, going hard in year 1 is way more important than going hard in year 10 in terms of whatever timeline that you've got. So number 5 is a bit of a silly one, it's a bit embarrassing, but just investing in things I don't understand. A lot of the time you have to be really, really honest with yourself to be like, do you really understand this? And I think so many people really overestimate how smart they are, and how, like me included, on how good they are at analyzing stocks and all this sort of stuff. There are people that have been doing this stuff for years and years and years and still don't feel confident. So if you have someone that's been doing stuff, researching stocks for 3 months, I just feel like these people are going to win. If they're going to win, it's going to be because of luck, not because of skill. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, having a punt, but a lot of the time people, they don't know what they're doing. And I think it's important to be honest about that. And like I even had, I saw some stock online, some guy posted about some cannabis stock, and I'm not even interested in any of that sort of stuff. And it was just like, I didn't even really research the company, to be honest. And I just thought I'd put some money into it, see what happened. And what happened was I lost my money, and it was probably like, it wasn't pump and dump, but it may have been, to be honest, but it kind of, I think I lost about 30 or 40% of my money within like a week or two, which wasn't ideal. I think I just got bored and impatient. I thought I'd try something, see what happens. And ultimately, I feel like you're always going to get burned if you just sort of half-ass stuff and sort of half research it, or not even research it in this case. So when it comes to anything, I think just understand it. There's a lot of people I feel like in crypto, which I'm totally for, that I think that don't really know what they're talking about, and they say they research the project, and I feel like they haven't really done much research. They've read a few articles and maybe someone said it's good and they've jumped on it. There's nothing wrong with that, but if you're trying to make money consistently and long term, then I think you're crazy to do that. So yeah, I hope you found that useful. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. If you have any other money fails of your own, I'd love to hear them. And other than that, I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.